Hey everyone, it's Zach with Z Squared Gaming. I have a pickup for you. It's actually going to be for the full month of August. I actually have been getting less and less as it's getting, out of the garage sale season and into kind of the winter season here in Minnesota, or I should say fall season. Actually, with being in Minnesota, it is pretty much summer and winter, so it's just kind of a fun thing to kind of talk about and kind of joke about. But we are getting into the fall aspect of the year at this point. Garage sales are becoming fewer and fewer as we're going on here, so I'm actually picking up less and less stuff. I am still going to thrift stores, pawn shops, and other places too. Going to be kind of hopefully ramping up to buy some more stuff off of Facebook or OfferUp. Don't find too much off of OfferUp anymore, but of course still always looking on Facebook to see if we can find some good deals there. I'm getting kind of low on cash, which usually happens at this time of the year, as I've been buying a bunch of stuff through garage sales. I do usually run out of cash for picking up games, so I kind of need to get that back up again, get more stuff posted on Facebook and eBay to try to get those funds back up again so that I can start purchasing stuff through Facebook Marketplace. And so I'm just going to go through all the games that I have picked up for the month of August. I do have a few that are doubles that are going to be up for resale. I am also in a kind of a vendor show this coming Saturday in Forest Lake. If you guys are not aware of that and want to come and are, of course, within the Twin Cities, you can certainly come and meet me and say hi, check out what games I have for sale. I do usually give you, multiple deals if you buy multiple items from me. If you actually mention my YouTube channel, I'll actually give you an extra $5 off your purchase. So, just be sure to do that if you see this and come and join me on Saturday the 31st at the VFW in Forest Lake. So like I said, I'll just go through my games that I picked up for August here. I will actually start with Xbox. I have been kind of focusing on Xbox and trying to, of course, complete that. I do have about 71, I think I'm 71% complete with that collection. I did actually get one game for that in August here. So it was Need for Speed Carbon, which is kind of surprising that I didn't have that already, but that is complete. And then I will just move into the 360 games. I picked up a few. I actually picked up, I think, a majority of these at a local game store, and it was actually a trade deal. I think that was the case. Nope, that might have not been correct. Let's see here. I think these were actually, we're actually at a garage sale, if I remember correctly. Battlefield Hardline Deluxe Edition, GoldenEye Reloaded 007, the Dreamcast Collection. And then for my doubles, I actually didn't have any doubles for the original Xbox, so these are just my doubles for the 360. I got Warhammer Space Marine. I think I picked that up because I saw that it was actually going for a decent amount. I think I picked this up at either a garage sale or a thrift store. And then Dead Rising. It's actually in not the greatest shape. I actually got this at a garage sale for free. They didn't have a case for it, and the discs were kind of taped inside of the cover art here. So I, of course, carefully took that apart. I think the disc is in pretty rough shape as it is too. Yeah, so I might even have to have that get resurfaced, but for free, couldn't pass that up, of course. And then moving on to the Xbox One, picked all these up at garage sales. Forza Motorsport 7, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, the special edition. I think I had the regular edition. And then I also got the same game, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, and this is the anniversary edition. So I do pick up these different editions as I need them for my collection. It is kind of course, part of the collection that I would need those other editions. I know it's kind of weird to get the same game with multiple editions, but just part of my collecting on what I do, and especially if I can get them at garage sales, I of course pick them up. So next thing here I will jump into is just my one Genesis game that I picked up. It is FIFA International Soccer. And that, I can't recall where I picked this up. I think it might have actually been a thrift store, if I remember correctly. It's few and far between that I actually get Genesis games at thrift stores, but I believe this was at a thrift store. I can't recall what thrift store it was, but there's that. All right, and then from there I will actually hop into PlayStation, and I'll actually start with the doubles of my, no, because of what I have, I'll actually start with my, what's going into the collection. I did pick this up at a garage sale. I think it was like for $4 or $5. It is the Jurassic Park Lost World and Greatest Hits. It is actually just the manual and the disc, so it does not have any cover art. Let's see, the disc is actually in pretty decent shape, but just thought I'd pick that up. I purchased it for about what it was going for, but it was just something I didn't have in the collection, and I know it's not complete, but still fun to pick up games. I think that was a day that I wasn't getting much at sales, so I had to come home with something at least. All right, so then now I will get into the doubles of my PS2 that I picked up. I believe most of these were kind of out of garage sale lots that I picked up. So we'll just kind of go through them here. Guitar Hero 2, Battlefront 2, Star Wars. Looks like they've got the first one here, Battlefront as well. Looks like we're on a Star Wars kick, Jedi Starfighter. Got a bowling game, Strike Force Bowling. Ace Combat 5, X-Men Legends, and then Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and then a sports title, Madden 2002. So those are the doubles that I will actually be having. Actually, I think I have a majority of those already in my for sale bin, so I might still bring those along just to have for backups if I sell multiples. Going into the collection, I have a Codebreaker Cheating Made Easy for the PlayStation 2. This was actually given to me by my neighbor, the same one that I got hand from. I, of course, did some more lawn mowing, and he came over with a couple of other games, but I already had them. And then he also had this, so I said, I'll just take this. You can have and keep the other two. And so just a pretty nice addition to the collection. I think these actually go for a good value, so that's always pretty sweet. And then these other ones were, I believe, from the same lot that I have the other the PlayStation 2 games from that I just went through with the doubles. So I have here Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup, Robin Hood Defender of the Crown, and then I have a Greatest Hits of Episode 3 Star Wars. And I think those were all from that, like I said, that lot. And I think these might have actually all been from the same lot. So I got Metal Gear Solid 3 Substance. I think that one actually holds some value. And then RTX Red Rock. I'd never seen or heard of this game until picking this up. So you guys have to let me know if, especially that RTX game is pretty good. I have never, like I said, heard of it. And please let me know if it's a good game to play. And so from there, I'll move into the PlayStation 3. I actually have quite a bit of doubles and actually ones being added to the collection. Speaking of, as you can see, I'm in a kind of a different spot of my game room here. Behind me, I have pretty much all my PlayStation 2. To my right, it might be a little bit out of kind of view from you. Got the rest of PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and then PlayStation 4 underneath me. I think maybe even the PlayStation 3 is out of camera view, but this is my PlayStation wall. I do need to actually get more room built, or more shelving units built for all my PlayStation. I actually have quite a bit kind of stacked up over behind off camera. And then I'm actually kind of a secondary bookcase over to my right that has some more PlayStation 3 games. So I am actually working on getting more shelving up for my whole collection, and hopefully with that I'll be able to eventually kind of I'm actually planning on redoing these shelves to kind of make it look a lot nicer. I don't like having white and brown different shelves and that kind of stuff, and it just doesn't look as nice as it could be. So I'll actually probably redo this whole thing and kind of make it look a little bit nicer, and actually get it a little bit away from the wall. I think I've seen a little bit of mold behind it, so I'm gonna try to alleviate that and fix that too. So all right, getting back into the games here, I'll continue on with the games that are doubles and that will be for sale. So got quite a few here. Got Black Ops, Guitar Hero Aerosmith. Some of these Guitar Hero games are actually worth quite a bit. Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock. Got sports title here, Madden 25. Another sports, Madden 13. Getting kind of a sports kind of kick in this little section here. Madden 11. Madden 10. Another sports. Major League Baseball K12. 2K12. MLB The Show 10. It's got a Joe Mauer on the front of it from Minnesota. MLB The Show 15. And then last but not least, it's not 14, but it is actually a good one to get, NCAA Football 13. This one does hold a little bit of value, certainly not in anything like the 14, but that's always nice to get as well. So I'll throw those kind of off to the side here, and then get into the games that are adding to the collection. So let's see here, we got MotorStorm Apocalypse. Those MotorStorm games are pretty fun. I've actually demoed a couple of them just to kind of check the condition of the games. Dragon's Dogma Dark Horizon. Looks pretty medieval, lots of magic kind of thing. Have to let me know if that one's good. Need for Speed Carbon, that's the greatest hits. Air Conflicts Vietnam. And then Wanted, Weapons of Fate. And these PlayStation 3 games, I think all of them that I just went through, both the ones that are doubles and then also going into the collection, if I remember correctly, were in a one large lot at a garage sale that I picked up. So it's always fun to, of course, pick those up at garage sales because you get them for cheaper. And last one here is actually a pretty cool one. I actually got from a garage sale as well. And I, of course, went through some movies that they had. Actually purchased one movie, and then at that point is when I asked if they had any video games, and the woman brought and asked for the husband to come over, and I actually kind of went into his garage and picked up actually a game that will be later on in the Nintendo section, but I also picked up the Duke Nukem Forever Balls of Steel limited edition. I think it's limited edition. Maybe it doesn't say, but it's in a box here, and it's got a bust of Duke Nukem inside, and this is actually completely sealed. I did pay about half of what it was worth at the time. It was, I think I looked it up on price charting, it said $80. I bought it for $40 from the guy in the garage sale. I actually had oddly enough met the guy at a thrift store, and I didn't actually realize that until after I was leaving the garage sale. He mentioned that he had he does know the guys that work at and own the Punch-Out Gaming. And then as I was kind of putting things together in my head, walking out to the car, I realized that I had actually met the guy at a thrift store, and we had chatted at that thrift store before. So that was pretty fun and interesting. And it's actually, of course, cool to pick up a complete in box, or I should say sealed box, of a limited edition Duke Nukem game. So I have a feeling that that's going to be kind of hard to get later on, as especially the PS3 starts to get up there in value for the games. Might kind of be a while before that actually happens, but it certainly is cool to actually have that already, so I don't have to look for that in the future. Next here, I will move into the PlayStation 4. I actually don't have any doubles of any games, so I will just go into the ones that are going into the collection. And I can't recall where I picked all these up. I think they were, actually as I'm kind of going through them, I think Tekken 7, can't recall where I picked up that one. But I do remember I picked up this one, The Hunter Call of the Wild. This was at a pawn shop. And these actually go for a little bit of money, and I was surprised to see it there. And at this pawn shop, they have the PlayStation 4 games for like $14 plus tax. So I did pay up a little bit for it, but if I remember correctly, it was worth about $30 or $40 at the time that I purchased it. So if anything, these will probably only go up. I don't know why some of these Hunter games, I know like Africa, I think it is on the PlayStation 3, is really expensive. I don't know if they have like small print runs or something like that. If you guys know why some of these hunting games are so expensive, comment down below, and so that I can kind of learn a little bit more about that. And it would certainly be cool to kind of just have that knowledge, and certainly fun to add something like this to the collection, especially if it's going to just go up in price later on. I think a couple, actually these next ones, if I remember correctly, I picked up at a garage sale. Guardians of the Galaxy. I've heard that some people like it, some people don't. You guys will have to let me know if you guys like it or not. We got Grand Theft Auto 5 Premium Edition. Is at a garage sale as well. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Got that at a garage sale. And I think this next one, I think majority of these PlayStation 4 games were all at the same garage sale. Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. Alright, and I know this next one here is actually, for sure I got a garage sale, and I've actually moved into the PS5, which is kind of funny to get a PS5 game at a garage sale already. But it is actually Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. And like I said, PS5, I think I paid $20 for this at a garage sale, which I was kind of surprised at, that it was for sale in the first place. But I also was kind of in awe that it was for sale. And of course, I wanted to pick it up for the $20, thinking it of course goes for a little bit more than that with it being a PS5 game. This next one here, oh boy, can't remember if I did pick this up at a garage sale or a thrift store, but it is Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PS5, and that was pretty interesting to find as well. If I remember correctly, it was actually maybe it wasn't at a thrift store. I think it was actually at a pawn shop. No, it was at a thrift store, because I paid like $4 or $5 for it, so I was happy to see that. And then the next ones here are actually all sealed games, and typically when I find PS5 games or newer console games that are sealed, I pick them up at either a Walmart or a Target when they're on clearance, or if they're on a really good sale type of thing. If I remember correctly, all of these were actually on clearance, so I didn't pay full price for them. First one here is Cult of the Lamb. I actually already have them in protective cases here, so they protect the seal. Picked up Forspoken, PS5. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed for the PS5. I did enjoy the last Ghostbusters movie, if you guys haven't seen it. Afterlife, if I remember correctly, if that's the name of it. It's the one with Paul Rudd. So it was actually a pretty cool tie-in and make things kind of up to date. And then pretty cool ending. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you guys have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, certainly go see it. It is actually a pretty fun movie. It's nothing like it's not hilarious. It's got some funny parts in it, but it's also a good action flick type of thing. So moving on here, we got Horizon Forbidden West. So that's the second one. It's for the PS5 and of course sealed, like I said. And then this one here, I actually picked up multiple copies because it was such a good deal. Like a Dragon, Ishin. And I picked up multiple copies. One of the copies I actually picked up for a buddy of mine. And I, of course, picked up actually 2 copies for myself. So this is the one going in the collection. And I actually have the second copy right here. And that will be actually likely for future trade. I actually sometimes will buy games, especially if they're 70% off or even higher than that percent off at retail stores, Target, Walmart, so that I can kind of have trade bait in the future for other games that I'm looking for. So. All right, so that will do it for PlayStation, and so I will kind of move stuff around here, clear up some space, and get ready for the Nintendo stuff. So like I said, this is just going to be one pickup video for the month of August. I haven't, like I said, been picking up as much stuff in here August and now September, where the month that I'm taping this. But go through the stuff here. So it's not technically Nintendo, but I just had it on the Nintendo stuff. I picked up this Retron 5 controller from a buddy of mine at his garage sale. He actually was trying to kind of get rid of a majority of his inventory, and so he was marking down prices quite a bit to actually sell the stuff. And he had a good sale, and so I picked up this Retron 5. Oddly enough, I actually picked up a empty box of a Retron 5 at a swap for free. The person who had it just wanted to get rid of it. And so slowly but surely I'm piecing Retron 5 complete in box together. So I've, of course, now have one of the controllers. And I'll have to check to see if it actually comes with 2 controllers or just the one. I know a lot of people really dislike these controllers. I can certainly see why. Certainly kind of a bulky controller, but it's kind of nice for larger hands, if you have hands, but larger hands, I should say. But lots of buttons, kind of clicky. Some people like that, some people don't. But of course, I'll keep that and put it in the box that I have. And so I'll just throw that there. All right, so I'll just continue here. I do have, like I said, some Nintendo stuff, and actually a majority of this, actually all of this is going to be Nintendo going forward here. So starting off, I'll actually get rid of these larger items here. I actually picked up an amiibo. This is the Link, which is the Skyward Sword Link. Picked this one up at a swap in St. Cloud for $30. It was going for a little bit more than that, but it's always nice to add those Zelda amiibos to the collection, especially since all the different Zelda games coming out, of course, here. So next one here is I picked up a Inkling Boy, and this is kind of green hair. I don't know if that differentiates it. I think there's been a couple of the boys, and I picked this one up at a Target for full price. So. All right, and then moving on here with more Nintendo. I actually don't have any original NES games to add to the collection or any doubles with this pickup. I, of course, have been having good luck finding the original Nintendo games lately, but just not for the month of August here. So, first off here, I'm going to be starting with The Great Circus Mystery for the Super Nintendo. And unfortunately, that's just loose. And then the next one here is Raiden Trad. This one's actually in a little bit rough shape. I do have to get some cleaning done on it. Hopefully kind of clean it up and get some of the dirt and grime off of it. And the Circus, not this one, but the one previous I picked up at a garage sale. This one I believe I picked up at a thrift store, if I remember correctly. I've been at a pawn shop. I think that was actually at a pawn shop. No, I think we're further about it. All right, next system here is actually the GameCube, which was pretty fun to find, of course. This one I actually picked up at the same place that I picked up that Duke Nukem complete and box sealed game. So this was at the same garage sale. I didn't actually have Resident Evil on the GameCube, so that's a cool one to add. Paid half of what it was worth which I can't recall offhand. I think it was $4 or $5 if I remember correctly, because I think it goes for like 10 or something like that, 10 or 12. Which is kind of surprising, and I might be totally off with these amounts. I can't quite recall, but nice to add another GameCube to the collection. All right, so then after that was my Nintendo Wii pickups. So I did pick up quite a few bundles from garage sales of Wiis, not only this month, but last month as well in August. So I'll actually start off with the doubles. And so start off with a couple of good ones here. I got Mario Party 8. Looks like the case is in a little rough shape, so I might swap that out. And that one is complete. So of course Mario Party games are kind of sought after on all systems. It does hold some value. Trauma Center Second Opinion. Unfortunately, this is not the more expensive Trauma Center one, but that one is complete. This one does hold a little bit of value, just not as much as the old one, or the other one, I should say. Michael Jackson, The Experience. Now, comment down below. I know that some of these are supposed to come with a white glove because it's Michael Jackson, but I have a feeling that not all of them are actually supposed to come with the glove. Comment down below in the comments if the Nintendo Wii is supposed to have one. So then the next game here, Monster 4x4 World Circuit. Get into kind of the shovelware here. Just Dance Kids 2. Just Dance. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I know that's actually, I've played this game a few times kind of just to test them out, and it was a pretty fun game. So I think I might have to get back into that again and actually play the whole thing. And then last one here is actually a Wii Play. Get actually quite a lot of these. I wish they would actually go up in price like Wii Sports, but it is what it is. So, of course, have a few copies of those. All right, and so those were all my doubles. Those will be for sale going forward. Then the ones going into the collection, I do have quite a few Wii games in the collection. I think I am... Boy, I think I might just throw it up on screen here, but I think I'm at like 54%, if I remember correctly, of the Wii collection. I, of course, have a lot of shovelware. I have a few of the kind of more expensive games. I have the Fritz Chess. I have the, I think it's actually the Steelbook version of the Metroid trilogy. So I think those are kind of up there in price. I do have the last story. Unfortunately, I don't have the outer box of the last story, but I have the rest of it. There's a couple other ones that are kind of up there in price. I think Kirby's Dream Land. I think that one also has an outer box, which unfortunately I don't have the outer box for. I just have the game with the case and manual type of thing. So, but the ones going into the collection here, Tomb Raider Underworld. Shimano Extreme Fishing. Looks like I have a little bit of cleanup on that case. And then the Golden Compass. I think the Golden Compass was at a thrift store. I have to do some cleanup on the case too. So, I haven't played any of these movie adoptions. I wonder if they're any good. So those are all the Wii ones going into the collection. Just 3 of them at this point. So. Gonna kind of start to get, I think, a little bit harder to find games that I need for the collection. I think a lot of them are just obscure games that that not a whole lot of people will have bought just because they're obscure and not and kind of unheard of. So they may be a little bit harder to find, but I may have to kind of, once I get done with Xbox, I probably will work on Wii after that, just because they'll be a little bit easier to find at that point. I don't think it will actually start going up in price too much. But after I finish the original Xbox, I think I'm going to work on the 360 because that's going to actually start going up in price with with Microsoft announcing that they're closing the store next year. So I think that the games will actually start going up in price. So I'm very happy to have about 51% of that collection so far. So it'll be sweet to complete both of those. And then after that, I will likely work on the Wii, just because it'll be easier to find. So, but of course, I'm always looking for everything that I need for the collection. But I kind of focus on, you know, one or two systems at a time type of thing to kind of really try to get those collections completed. So I did pick up a couple of Switch games at garage sales, which was kind of fun. So not the greatest games, but of course they're fun to pick up at garage sales. I picked up Ugly Dolls, An Imperfect Adventure. Doesn't look very fun, but always, of course, fun to add to the collection. And then this one actually looks a little bit more fun, and this is A Hat in Time. So you guys will have to let me know if you've played either one of those. Like I said, this one, the Hat in Time, looks like it's a little bit more fun than the Ugly Dolls one. But have to, you know, of course, check those out. And looks like I got some more cleanup to do on these cases. So at least this one got some stickiness to them. So next kind of thing here, it's actually not games, but they were pretty fun to pick up. I picked these up at a thrift store. And the first one here is a guide, and it's a Pokemon guide, fire red and leaf green versions. It's in pretty good shape. So that was pretty cool to find. Like I said, that was at a thrift store. And then this next one here, I believe was at another thrift store, but not at the same time. And that's Tomb Raider 2. And this one's in a little bit more rough shape. It does have some damage at the top here. But it's always fun to find some cool strategy guides to add to the collection. All right, and then the last item here is actually something picked up at a pawn shop, and it was actually kind of underneath all the rest of it, so I'm kind of going back to an older system, but it is for the Nintendo Wii, and it is a complete in box, actually sealed, DJ Hero 2. And like I said, this is sealed. So this was actually pretty fun to find at a pawn shop. So oddly enough, when I brought this up to the counter to purchase, the person ringing me out asked, where did you find this? I said, well, it was actually over in the movies, which was actually across from the video game stuff. And the person at the register said, oh, well, that's too bad. Someone else was looking for that and asked me where it was. And I, of course, thought that it was sold. So I, just didn't tell them, exactly where it was because she didn't know where it was. And so that was actually still, of course, fun to find. Kind of feel bad for the person that was looking for it that didn't find it. But what can you do? So that should do it, guys. I'm actually, like I said, going to be having less and less for pickups for this month. I know I have quite a lot less than even this for this month so far, and it is actually pretty close to the end of the month itself. So I may actually kind of start combining months together. I'm actually going to try to do some more maybe collection videos as well to kind of show you guys some of my collection. Kind of change it up from just pickup videos. If you guys have any suggestions on what to do or what systems to start with for showing my collection, certainly let me know in the comments down below, and I would certainly like to get that set up. And I may do some more, I think I mentioned it in a previous video that I'm going to kind of do a before and after of my shelving units and such. So it's going to be somewhat of another collection tour. But I'm going to do a before and after type of thing. So I will actually be working on that. And so that will likely be my next video coming out because I'm working on the shelving units right now type of thing. So I'm going to actually shoot a before video pretty quickly here. And then, of course, it will take some while to get the actual shelves up and everything, and then do the after video. So thank you guys for tuning in, and don't forget to comment and like this video if you can. Of course, I'm looking for subscribers. I'm hoping to get to, I think I'm at 43 or 44 right now. So, of course, I would like to just kind of get this channel going and kind of get the subscribers so that I can, just kind of further this YouTube channel along. So thank you guys again for stopping by, and do good and be good.